Hello everyone! Welcome to the very first Philandu News episode. This week has been incredibly busy, with major technology breakthroughs and some unexpected developments in global politics. Today, we'll explore 5 important stories. A new AI tool that organizes your life, the controversial release of Avatar 3, a critical meeting for the war in Ukraine, a new competitive shooter game, and a historic journey to the moon. Let's dive in. First up, let's talk about artificial intelligence. This week, Google has released a major update for its Gemini AI and Notebook LM tools. These updates are designed to help regular people, not just tech experts. Many of us struggle to organize our daily schedules or fix our resumes for a new job. Usually, this takes hours of boring work. Google's new update promises to change this by making its AI much more personal. The new Gemini Organizer feature can now scan your emails and automatically build a calendar for you. Also, Notebook LM has a new tool specifically for resumes. You upload your old CV, and it rewrites it to sound more professional instantly. It uses reasoning models, which means it thinks logically before it writes. For students and professionals, this is a game changer. It means you can spend less time planning and more time doing. However, some people worry about giving an AI so much access to their personal data. If you want to save time this week, these tools are worth a look. Now, moving on to entertainment. The biggest story in Hollywood this week is definitely the release of Avatar: Fire and Ash. It arrived in theaters last Friday, December 19th. This is the 3rd movie in James Cameron's famous franchise. In this story, Jake Sully and Neytiri meet the Ash People, a new clan of Na'vi who live near volcanoes. It has already made $88 million in its first weekend. Critics are very divided about this film. On the positive side, the visuals are incredible. The fire effects and the volcanic landscapes are some of the most beautiful things ever seen in cinema. However, many critics say the story is repetitive. They argue that the plot feels very similar to the previous movies. In my opinion, if you love visual spectacles, you must see this on the biggest screen possible. But if you want a deep, original story, you might be disappointed. While the box office heats up, things are also heating up in international politics. This weekend, a very significant meeting took place in Germany regarding the war in Ukraine. President Zelensky met with negotiators from the United States to discuss ending the conflict. For a long time, Ukraine has insisted on joining NATO, a military alliance to protect itself. Russia has strongly opposed this. This disagreement has been a central part of the war for years. Now, reports suggest a major shift. Zelensky has indicated he might be willing to pause his request to join NATO. In exchange, he wants strong security guarantees from the US. Some experts call this a pragmatic move to stop the fighting. Others worry that it gives Russia too much power. If this deal moves forward, we could see a ceasefire soon. It would be a historic change in the war, but the details are still being negotiated. Now let's talk about the gaming world. The big release this week is Splitgate 2, also known as Splitgate Arena Reloaded. This is a free-to-play shooter game that mixes 2 famous concepts, the shooting of Helluland, the portals from the game Portal. You fight other players, but you can also create instant doorways to travel across the map. The game is receiving good reviews for its gameplay. Reviewers say the gunplay is crunchy and satisfying. The movement is fast, and using portals to flank enemies feels very smart. However, some players are complaining about microtransactions items you have to buy with real money. If you like competitive games like Valorant or Call of Duty, this is definitely worth your time, especially because it is free to try. Exactly 57 years ago this week, humanity changed its perspective forever. We are talking about the mission of Apollo 8 in December 1968. On December 21st, 3 astronauts left Earth. On Christmas Eve, they became the first humans to orbit the moon. They did not land, but they circled it. While they were orbiting, they took a famous photo called Earthrise. It showed our blue planet rising above the gray surface of the moon. It was the first time we saw ourselves from a distance. This mission is important today because it reminds us of how fragile our planet is. As we talk about new space movies like Avatar, it is good to remember the real explorers who went to space first. In India, a cheetah named Mukhi has just given birth to 5 healthy cubs. This is huge news because cheetahs were extinct in India for decades. Conservationists have worked hard to bring them back. These 5 cubs are a sign that the program is working and that nature can recover if we help it. That's all for this week's news. We covered the new Google AI tools, the mixed reviews of Avatar 3, the potential peace talks in Ukraine, the action of Splitgate 2, and the historic Apollo 8 mission. Which story did you find most interesting? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for next week's news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.